We are not safe. In our house, when we go home and sit down, we should sit down in our sitting room and they are safe, but we are not safe.
The head of the community go and tell your people to live in peace in the name of Halal our God.
All of us, we want to find a solution to what's happening. Not blaming the police, not blaming one another. Like what you heard Father Blake said, we need to work together, please.
They're scared, but they're also angry. After 12 incidents in the past 6 weeks, these residents came looking for reassurance, but they also wanted answers.
That's my commitment to everybody here, is we will do everything we can as a partnership to bring this to a close as early as we possibly can. But as been illustrated right the way through this, we can't do it alone.
But this morning, in the early hours, Mrs. Palmer, who we spoke to yesterday, woke up to this: a brick through her bedroom window. It's the 4th time this has happened to her.
I'm bittered, you see, and another thing, I'm annoyed to know that 40 years I live here, no hustle with no one, I was quite happy, and all of a sudden, bricking there, stoning me out my house. What for?
In a nearby street, this house, not empty, but home to one couple for 60 years. They feel so terrorised they won't take down the boards. Police have now escalated their efforts and say they're confident they will catch those responsible. This is a town which usually celebrates its diverse makeup, but there are people around here who feel that they are being racially targeted. Despite the recent events, there is a strong will from this community for people to remain calm. They want the trouble to stop, but most of all, they are determined to live alongside each other in harmony. Joe Black, BBC Look East in Luton.
Well, this afternoon I spoke to Superintendent Andy Martin from Bedfordshire Police. I began by asking him what the police are doing to stop these attacks.
In a nutshell, it's a combination of high visibility work by ourselves, along with some covert activity, the details of which I clearly can't go into. We're also deploying outreach workers to work with youth in the area tonight and maybe over the next 2 or 3 nights. Also, there's a lot of work going on with the community. Had a very positive community meeting last night. People have come forward to help us out with neighbourhood watch schemes, to work as street wardens.
You talked about the meeting last night being positive, but there is some anger among the community that you're not doing enough and haven't been doing enough, because these attacks have been going on weeks now.
Yes, I appreciate that, and a lot of that was discussed last night at the meeting. As the pattern has escalated, so the police activity has escalated accordingly, but there was some activity going on previously, mainly of a covert nature, but clearly, as obvious, we have been unsuccessful with that.
We've seen here in our coverage on Look East that these are older or elderly people who are feeling terrorised within their own homes. How can you reassure them that you will protect them?
We've personally visited all the victims, visited them again today, Mrs. Palmer in particular, who's been a victim now on 4 occasions. We're also working with the community to try and improve relations within the community, and also to find out as much as we can about who may be these attacks, making sure we arrest them as soon as we possibly can. It's not just minor criminal damages now, this is about people at risk of being seriously injured. It must stop. People out there know who's doing this. I encourage them, please come forward and tell us. Do not protect these people, they're not worth it.
The victims themselves are sure that these are racist attacks. Does that give you any indication of where to look for who might be responsible?
Certainly the perception from the victims is that these are racist attacks. There's no actual physical evidence of that, but we are treating them as racist attacks at this time. We're dealing with this as a critical incident now and putting a lot of resources into it, because there's certainly some circumstantial evidence that does support that theory.